There's a bird attempting to come in. Where'd he go?
He's back at the bush right now. But
Come
he's
on,
like
birdie.
literally in right opposite Midnight, just above her head.
Oh.
The chick above there.
Yeah, there he is. Aww. It's our bird friend. It is definitely still a little too chilly to be sitting out here, but I came out here because Nola was messing with everything inside, so I opened the door, so now she is exploring out here while I type up a Google Doc because I'm going to be asking my friends and followers on Instagram and Facebook for their opinion on something, which also means actually that in turn I will ask you guys. So I'll give you my... There's my cat. I'll give you guys my idea. It's basically this idea, a quick pitch of this idea is I wanted to do a sort of... I still don't know what to call this. Basically, I would have someone who's in the industry, whether they be established in the industry, you know, working on, you know, big stuff like my friend Aria, or if they're still starting out, like myself, and people like that, creatives who are doing creative things in a creative field, and I would have them film 2 days just with their phone, like vlog style, like I do. 2 days in their life. The first day is like what a busy day or a working day would be for them when they're working on their craft. And the second day is a relaxing day. You know, what does a relaxing day look? So for example, if it's an actor, you know, what does it look like if you're on set or if you're answering emails, if you're doing whatever, compared to a day where you don't have to be on set, you don't have to do any of that. What does your relaxing day look like? And then the second part of this would be that I would do a Zoom interview with the person, mainly focusing on questions that are not questions that they always get asked by every single interviewer ever, ever. Like, you know, specifically tailoring the conversation to, is there anything they want to talk about? Do they have something coming up that they really, you know, want to speak about it? Do they have a passion that, you know, do they have a passion to help animals that they really want to talk about? Or just, you know, interesting questions of like unique questions, not like, what's the favorite project you've worked on? Not that there's anything wrong with those questions, but it's just they get asked them like all the time. So it would be unique questions. Maybe we would take some from, you know, before the guest came on to say, what would you like to ask this guest, you know, questions for them, and things like that. And then it would be posted on YouTube, and there would be social media to go along with it, so Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. I'm going to create a Google form, an anonymous Google form, so my friends, both who are in the industry and not, because the second big part of this is, would people want to watch this? I know for me, this would be something that I would want to watch, because the main goal of this is to remind people that creatives and people in the industry are human. You know, they have a life just like we do. They have busy days, they have you know, relaxing days. You know, their relaxing days could look like yours if you're sitting on the couch and watching Netflix, or you know, if you're like me, you can't really have a relaxing day. I'm kind of always doing something. You know, what does that look like? And to kind of feel a little bit more connected to them in a way that, you know, less of like the fangirl and more like a, wow, I really appreciate their work and what they do. You know, try to dull down that narrative of putting these people on pedestals, because that is so stressful, you know, to put them on this pedestal and expect so much more from them of what a normal human would. So, you know, yeah, that's kind of the goal of this. So let me know what you think. Feel free to message me on Instagram, anywhere, comment down below what you think. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I'm gonna be going back inside to create this form. I'll leave the door cracked for Nola, but yeesh. I have been sitting on my butt all day, so I'm going for a bike ride. Might be a little cold, but that's okay. I found out I now have a thing on my bike where I can put my phone. So, needless to say, I got to the first cul-de-sac, and my bike had been switched to a higher gear where you have to pedal harder. My lungs are not used to that. I am so wishing I brought water with me. My lungs have always been quite crap, but like, this is concerning. Like, I couldn't even make it half the neighborhood. So, let me update you on what's happened in the past 2 hours. I'm alive. It's a good thing. Very good thing. Here's the not so good thing part. So remember when I vlogged and I was on my bike and I was saying, wow, it's really, you know, I got winded a lot quicker. And this usually doesn't happen. Something's wrong. I'm not able to finish in the neighborhood. Yeah, something's definitely wrong, because couldn't finish the neighborhood. I ended up having to walk my bike back because I couldn't get on it to ride it, even at a lower gear. I was finally able to fix it to a lower gear, and I couldn't. So I walked it back, which took me like 10 minutes to walk it back. And when I got back, I still had the tightness in right here and in my chest, which I had never had that feeling in my chest before. So I was very scared. My parents came back because my mom had to change out of her slippers anyway, and then when I told them what was going on, they decided not to go to Costco and to stay here. First of all, it was something I'd never experienced before. So not only was it terrifying, but I didn't really know what to call it because I didn't really know. So as you guys, some of you probably know, for basically any time that I exercise, I always get winded very quickly. But I thought it was that I couldn't build up endurance, which a few of my grandparents have the same thing. And so I was like, oh, I guess it's just like hereditary. I didn't realize that it was a problem. I just thought it was like something in my genetic makeup. Despite the fact that no matter how often I would exercise, that would never get better. And I just was like, it's fine. Well, a little while ago, I heard about exercise-induced asthma. And I was like, maybe that's what I have. But I didn't go to get it checked out because I don't exercise all that much. So long story short, I come back to the house and that feeling, the tightness in my chest, thankfully has pretty much gone away now, but I still feel the tightness here. It's not affecting my ability to breathe. I can still breathe in and out. I can take deep breaths and that's fine, but when I do take a deep breath, I feel the tightness like you do after you, like after you exercise, right? When your lungs are trying to get back to normal and you feel that, like that tightness, that's what's still happening, and it's over 2 hours later. So thankfully, I can still breathe. I'm not having trouble breathing. It's just that tightness, but it's not affecting my breathing. Can you tell I'm trying to remind myself of this fact as well? So we called a nurse using one of those after-hours hotlines, and I explained what was going on, and he recommended, first of all, of course, he asked me if I had any other symptoms, COVID symptoms. I said, no, I do not. I didn't have a fever. It was like 99.6 in this year, 99.7 in the other, and I typically run high anyway, so that was normal, and he advised that I get an appointment. So I have an appointment tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning to basically go in and do that. So I hate having a doctor's appointment in the middle of a pandemic. I literally despise it. It terrifies me because, yes, it's a doctor's clinic, but you never know who goes through those doors, and I am terrified. I'm also, of course, a little terrified to sleep because I don't want to die during the middle of the night, which I don't think that'll happen because I think it would get better from here, not worse. But, yeah. So, needless to say, I tried to do a healthy thing by going to ride my bike, which I've done before, but not since I came back here from Vancouver, and I thought it would be fine, and I most certainly was not. So, I don't know what triggered it this time. That hasn't happened the other times, but it was frightening. It still is a little frightening, and I don't really know. I'm hoping they diagnose me with something tomorrow. I'm assuming it's exercise-induced asthma and not just normal asthma. Maybe it is normal asthma. I don't really know. Anyway, that's what's been going on. It is, I don't even know what time it is, 7:54. I'm going to make sure that I don't go to bed super late tonight because I will probably not be getting a very good night's sleep because I'm debating on if I want to set an alarm every 2 hours to make sure that I wake up and make sure I'm still alive. So, well, I am heading to bed. I talked to Kendall for a little bit, and she always cheers me up and gets my mind off of stuff. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. All my social media is in the description. Love you all.